I can double tongue and I can open my throat.
And hello and welcome to another episode of Dinks with Kinks. I knew we'd get to a sweet spot eventually. That's 100% how we're starting this episode.
Is Rebecca's sweet spot?
I'm your host, John Dondero, and with me tonight, as always, Miss Rebecca.
Hello.
And Mr. Shepard.
Good evening.
So you can open your throat.
Yes, all singers can.
That's good to know.
Don't we all open our throat every time we eat something? I mean,
Open your throat, breath control.
Before we get too far in this episode, I want to remind everybody to follow us on social media, on Twitter and Instagram, at Dinks with Kinks. We post all kinds of pictures from the episodes there, do polls, interact. It's fun. And starting this week, brand new, we have a Patreon, guys. Woo!
Yay!
And if you go on that Patreon, you get links to early episodes. You get the episode days before anyone else. Not only that, you get bonus content like bonus video episodes, bonus pictures. I do believe there's some Miss Rebecca feet already on there. That was our first official post.
That was our first official post. I wanted to be the first.
You are the first, Rebecca feet. And that link will be in the description, as well as patreon.com/dinkswithkinks. Go out there and help support and keep this podcast awesome. And like I said, you get early episodes, bonus content, live streams, you name it, we got it. What are we talking about this week?
I don't know.
I'm just along for the ride. I just show up, look pretty.
I just come to wrestle Rebecca.
Oh, yay.
Well, I'm really wrestling with my emotions right now on lack of really jumping on there, but we're covering wrestling.
Wrestling Rebecca does include jumping on, See, so
I don't jump on
jumped
anything
there
without
quickly.
consent.
Consent is king. Kink responsibly.
Consent is king. We're talking about wrestling fetishes.
And we're not talking about like WWE, we're not our WWF. We're talking about like the actual fetish. Like you're not
or WCW
watching,
or all the other W's that they came up with.
Yeah, all the Raw, WWE Raw,
And
New World Order, isn't that one of them?
NWO.
And I said no.
Step into a Slim Jim. Now I didn't watch wrestling, but that from my research, I have found out that is not the fetish we're talking about tonight. I mean, there will be spandex and definitely some singlets.
I used to wear those.
But we're talking about like fetish wrestling, like wrestling between usually a male and a female or a male and a male. I haven't seen many female on female. That kind of boils over into, now that's just in my research.
I actually have not. I've done the opposite.
Really?
In what I've seen, a lot of people like the girl on girl wrestling. That's but a lot of people get off on watching two girls wrestle around.
And since you said there's not many girl on girl, so I guess then the female oil and jello wrestling, all those things I see everywhere, those don't count in this fetish?
That actually, I want to say like jello wrestling and mud wrestling and stuff like that. I mean, as well as technically wrestling, it's not so much what we're talking about tonight. Like it is like, it kind of falls in the category of cat fights.
Tell me more.
More or less I know. Wait till we come for that episode. Tonight, what we're talking about is more of like, I am participating in wrestling, not watching the wrestling. Now, some people may disagree. Miss Rebecca looks like she has a very differing opinion, and that's fine. Let's hear that.
No, it's all good. Sorry, I got distracted.
Yeah, I bet you did. Now, I'm not saying that discludes that in the fetish, but from what I've seen, it's usually like being put in a power struggle. and one person either wanting to dominate another person by force of will or being wrestled into submission. There are a thing called what? Oh,
not
go
the
ahead,
spandex wrestling I did in high school either. Okay.
kinda.
Damn.
Actually,
Kinda.
very very similar to your high school wrestling, where it's legit wrestling.
I dated a
So the
wrestler in high
Roman
school.
Greco style. Yay.
Roman Greco style.
I used to wrestle him a lot, actually. I think about it.
Oh, see, look at that.
Did.
Yeah, look
It was
at
a
you.
lot of fun.
I'm gonna tell you right now, this is a fetish I can 100% get behind. One, because it likes fun, and two, I
Or on
would
top
never.
of.
Oh yeah, I mean, you get to wrestle, especially if your partner. Wrestling is always fun. It's very playful. Two, it throws up power in the air. Like, who's gonna take?
Much like their legs.
Yeah,
Yes.
who's gonna take control and really come out on top or on bottom, depending on really where you want the night to go.
I don't know. I like a certain level of that wrestling, that power struggle, but I don't feel like that would be a long-term thing for me. I feel like that would be more of a foreplay situation for me than it would be a whole let's wrestle until something happens.
Yeah,
Personally, for me.
That
And then
personally for
if
me
you
too.
wrestle in a little baby pool of oil or jello, that could get you into this squish fetish as well.
Splashing, yeah, you would instantly
Wrestling
go
splashing.
into.
You know what? I would do baby oil. It's not sticky and I like the consistency. I think I could do that. I think that would be on my list. That could be on my,
And it's
my kink
online
list.
now too.
There we go. And yeah, I don't think I could do
Bucket
wrestling
list
for
grows.
foreplay, but I think it would be one of those things that leads to foreplay. Does that make sense? Like, I wouldn't be aroused by the wrestling, but it would definitely be one of those things where you get playful with your spouse or partner or whatever, and then you're like, well, while we're at it,
Yes, because
Lead into
the act of the
foreplay.
wrestling and struggling, it does release the endorphins and even get the hormones going in the head. So yeah, easily to flow from one into the other.
oh, absolutely. But a lot of these people, that's where it starts and finishes for this wrestling fetish. What they usually climax while in the throes of being, being submitted, like in a lock and whatnot.
Yeah. On my research, because I've been researchy lately.
I like it.
I'm full of information. I'm smart and beautiful. So
No arguments here.
watched it was a British wrestling it was for gay men, and they wrestled for power. It's like, oh, I wrestled him and I dominated him so that he did this, or I topped him and it was that exchange of power. It's like, I want to dominate you, and it's a fight of it's not like a sub dom situation where it's like, I'm the sub, you're the dom. It's, we're gonna battle this out like men. And
Two doms going in, very manly.
yes. Which
I
is
will say a lot of the wrestling I
fun.
did in my younger days were with other dudes. Like we would get drunk and wrestle each other. It wouldn't be, well, at least for me, it was not a sexually arousing experience. But I honestly could see that being like, if I'm with a partner, who's going to be dominant tonight? Or like, yeah, we're both two dominant people. Who's going to have that power tonight?
Shep,
Mm-hmm.
you said you wrestled in high school. Would they weird you out if your partner said, "Hey, I want to wrestle"?
No, because then I would know those are one area where I know some good slick moves. Just
Oh,
quickly put them on the
really?
ground and put them on their back.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
It does. Even I'm a little into
Sounds-
that.
I know. I was like,
Especially when you attend a friend's birthday, and on this said birthday, every year they usually turn their entire basement into a oiled slip and slide, as in they put a plastic mat across the whole basement, which is big, and then oil it up. So that's the ultimate wrestling setup right there.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
That does.
Let's do that. For my birthday.
Yeah, 100%.
We can have cake and a massive slip and slide in the basement.
At the same time.
I've seen it done a few times, so I could help set it up. Yes. Yeah.
Oh. You know what? That's what we should do. If we make it an entire year, we should have like a celebration where it's like stations.
I like it. You can just go and experience.
Everything.
Sensation stations.
Sensation stations. And wrestling is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
We'll name it the Power Play.
See, we're already there.
Does that mean we're going to get Shep in a singlet? Please tell me we're going to get Shep in a singlet. Just ready to go.
Spandex.
Yes.
No dance belt.
Would people
I
rather
want to
me
see
have my spandex or my my utility kilt
I have
with all of its attachments and such?
Shep, we need to wear our utility kilts together.
I don't know what I would do with it. I don't know how I would handle that.
I have one of the black utility kilts. It's
Same.
actually very cool. I like it.
Oh, you'll match. Oh, it's a dream come true.
Oh no.
Could you
We have.
wrestle
I
in
think.
the
I think
utility
we
kilt?
actually have matching utility kilts.
I wouldn't wrestle in them because, then we could accidentally get clipped on each other with all the connectors and stuff.
Yeah, utility kilts have a lot of hooks on them. A lot of clipping.
And there are some places I wouldn't want to be hooked.
But have
Like
you
my
guys?
finger.
If I said the phrase "a session wrestler," what's the first thing you think of?
Me in high school? I don't know.
Okay, well,
Glow? Glorious ladies of wrestling. That's what I think. That's what I think of.
a session wrestler is actually
Session wrestler.
typically female. Not saying it's always female, but typically female. That is literally will wrestle men and put them in submission holds for like they're a wrestling prostitute.
But they don't have to have sex?
They don't have to have sex. Typically, yeah.
I have a new calling in
It
life.
is. And they'll hire them for fetish events, or because they do fetish wrestling as an event in places. Because a lot of times it is no contact. Well, I mean, like no exposed genitalia, no penetration. So you can do a lot of things and get away with that in public. So session wrestling is actually
Shep, I have an idea. You can teach me how to wrestle. We would need lots of practice. And then I can go and be a session wrestler.
Can we film it and put it on the Patreon?
I like
course.
where this is going.
Absolutely. I'm 100%
course.
for this.
I work out twice a day. I earn these thigh muscles.
See,
I'm only okay with it if Shep is still in a singlet, no matter what.
Okay, deal.
Even if he's not
there's no
wrestling.
genitalia touching. It's just
Yeah. Even if he just has to stand there and watch because no one wants to wrestle him, he's still in a singlet.
yes.
I'll be in a singlet too, just because I think it would be funny to see me in a singlet.
Yeah, but a singlet is literally like a full body condom.
I know
it's
what a
wrong.
singlet is. I have seen. You have no idea how many pictures of singlets I have up right now. So much dong.
You have no idea how many days I've had to wear a singlet in my.
These are minus the dancer cup.
Me in a singlet even hit the front page of my local sports, newspaper. The
Do
front
you
page.
have that picture? Do you have it? I want to see it.
Oh, I definitely
Picture?
want to see that
I have
picture.
paper. Yes. Yeah, so me actually pinning someone to the ground.
I don't know. I found.
That's why.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Because I believe at some point in time I thought I heard rubber, wrestling outfit and stuff. So that's where it's like with the spandex and the rubber, that would definitely keep you from the actual intercourse act at that point.
They do make
So-
both male and female latex wrestling singlets. And you will be able to see that on our Instagram and Twitter. I will be posting that up there because that was the first image I found, and I was like, yes.
I can
really
see
grasp hard to everything. So,
I can see being a session wrestler, like being an appeal.
Yeah.
Just like a dominatrix. I mean, it's very much a power play.
A lot of the times the people who want to be session wrestled, like they want to lose that fight, are people who are either switches or subs that don't want to admit they're subs. It really boils down to like, I don't want to go male brats.
Ah.
And that's the best way I could put it.
Enjoy the rougher play.
Yeah, I enjoy
the act of taking someone down. Because you kind of smack them to the mat or to the bed or something like that.
Mm-hmm. I want to be dominated, but I am not going to go willingly. I want you to take it from me. So, but this is
that all the time.
Well, yeah, but this is not to be construed with consensual non-consent because you go into the ring. It's not like I'm being attacked. It's I'm willingly battling. This is a battle fetish, 100%.
I can see that though. I can see that 100. I feel like I would be into that. I really honestly feel like I would be into that. Like I will submit to you, but you better earn that. And that's I think that's I could get on board with that.
You can't earn it with your
looks.
looks.
A little each episode.
You can't earn it with your words. You got to grapple me to the ground. You got to bring me in kicking and screaming until I submit. And usually that's when you hire such a wrestler, most of these people go into the fight hoping they lose. Like the person who hired the session wrestler, because that's what really, really gets on. But I almost probably guarantee they don't go in willingly to, I'm just going to give up.
Yes.
From some of the videos I've seen.
These are the types that not only love the rough stuff, but they like to grapple and, be the human pretzel.
Which is why I wouldn't want to be a session wrestler, because they're expecting me to win, but they're not going to go without a fight. And what if they legitly beat me and I was just like, oh, well, I have failed you as a session wrestler because you have bested me. Yeah. Which I think that's what scares me the most. Be like, I'm just not a good wrestler.
Well, we just have to let Shep teach us the ways of the world. Shep.
You must train us for fetish wrestling, and we shall wrestle.
I'll train Rebecca, and then you can shadow wrestle while you watch us.
Oh, is that how it is? Okay.
That's exactly how it's going to be. Oh, I'm learning new skills every day.
I see. I feel that.
You will grab onto her shadow and follow my movements.
But there are actually fetish gyms, and people who want to look up more information, you can look up these fetish gyms where you can go and get fetish wrestled. And I think that's awesome. I think it's a great thing that they have actual gyms, because a lot of times this fetish with wrestling, it doesn't necessarily take place in a bedroom. They want on the mat. They like the whole aesthetic to it. I want the singlet. I want the wrestling feel. Most of the videos I have seen, most of the advertisements I've seen for like fetish wrestling, have been like I'm in a wrestling environment. I'm going into this 100% for wrestling. This is not, I want to go into a bedroom and just wrestle with you.
Yes.
But it's difficult to do it full out in a bedroom. Like I'm looking at my room right now. Like I couldn't do a wrestling fantasy here. Like that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Well, your bedroom is often designed around your comfort and your fantasies, so your bedroom is just not designed around a wrestling fetish. That's all.
It is not.
That's true.
Someone that has a wrestling fetish might have like the Asian style beds where the bed is on the floor already, so you could wrestle a lot easier in that kind of room.
Or you turn a spare room into a wrestling room, which actually, to be honest, sounds really fun, and I kind of want to do.
Yeah, you put some soft padding on the walls so you don't go through the walls at any point.
We are all
Wrestle.
seriously contemplating this. We're all like, oh, we have the serious face on. We're actually like, where could I put this?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking right now. I'm like, where am I going to put my wrestling ring for fetish wrestling?
My shed in the back, the biggest shed that I have, it's furthest away from the house and also has power. So yeah,
We could build a fetish wrestling in Shep Shed. Shep Shed.
See? There we could go. I could be a session wrestler, and we can
Coming to
have
the
it in this on
Shep
Shep Shed.
Shack. Shep Shack, baby.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a thing now because I'm gonna have
Yes.
a theme song already.
But yeah, no, I mean, I guess it could be like, female on female wrestling. From what I've seen, that falls into a different category. And I'm researching as we go. Like now I'm like,
Oh, you're okay.
Oh wow.
female wrestling. And
Well, also this kind of would dip into the leather, latex, rubber, PVC type of fetishes as well, because
absolutely. And spandex fetish, which we haven't talked about yet, which we will get
Yeah.
to. I got some cycle shorts that I'm going to wear, and you guys are going to feel made very uncomfortable by.
I have websites including Erotic Vixens Wrestling.
oh, there you go. But I wonder if that's purely the sexual style, like geared, or whether it is like the actual fetish, because that's always that fine line.
Yeah, that's the real trouble with this fashion is like there is session wrestling, and then there is like I enjoy watching two women battle to see the victor. Usually with the wrestling fetish, it like at its stem boils down to my wrestling fetish includes me. Now, if you're a girl who has a wrestling fetish and you're a lesbian, absolutely, that's some girl-on-girl wrestling right there.
Mm-hmm.
I think voyeurism of wrestling falls under the fetish.
A different category.
Yeah, a different category.
I
Because
see.
you might get off on different types of brawling, and then we fall out of the category of wrestling. That's what would that category be? We'll come to it when we get there, and I'll find out the actual term. But I think it falls more under voyeurism because you're a watcher at that point.
I like watching everything.
I like watching everything too. I like listening to podcasts, and this is a podcast that you should be listening to. And if you're not, if you are, tell your friends, rate it, share it on your kinky groups, tell your other kinky friends, be like, yo, check out this podcast. Sorry, I had to plug us. I know we're not even at the end yet, but I was like, nah, if you're a voyeur,
Hey.
we're the ultimate voyeur,
Yeah, we are.
babe. And you can go to our Patreon and see even more. Wow.
Go to our Patreon. I have
See it
really
all.
pretty feet.
And I will be posting. Actually, I haven't told y'all this because I used to produce fetish content back in the day. Some of which
You did?
very much. Yes, I did.
What?
Yeah. I don't think I've ever mentioned that. But I will be posting old videos that I used to sell for free. Well, I mean, not for free because they're on the Patreon. But I'm going to be just uploading to the Patreon of fetishes we've talked about. Like the stuck fetish, the pantyhose fetish, quicksand. And I have some more when we get to those fetishes, but I'll be uploading those videos so you can check them out and see content that I have created. That does not include me. I am not on there. They are, of age models, fetish models. I might have one with me in it. I might be a bad guy somewhere going,
Of course you are.
yeah.
Of course
the
you
bad.
are.
Do
I'm always
bad
the
guys
villain.
supposed to do that? or are bad guys supposed to go, yeah?
A bad guys do go, yeah.
Okay, that's a little better. The other one was a little too high. Like, yeah, that's happiness. Bad guys don't do happy.
You don't know that. I'm a happy
They do
bad guy.
manic.
Manic. Yeah, you're right. But as far as the wrestling fetish goes, I give this I want to rate this as where I see it on my list. I think that's something we should do from now on. It's kind of say New little segment. I know I'm dropping on this like last minute because I just thought of it. Like where this goes, would I do it?
Dropping
would
less than a minute. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
Enjoy it, and is it going to become a full-time kink? I am.
Have we done it? It
Have
needs
we
to be
done
on the
it?
have we done it?
Yeah, have we done it? Would we do it? Would we enjoy it? Did we enjoy it? And
Okay.
I have never wrestled like this sexually, but I would.
Does wrestling and then having sex count? Like,
I'm going to count it. That counts as done.
okay. So I guess technically I've done it. I liked it. I'd probably do it again. So,
What about you, Shep?
I have done it in all of its forms.
He has done it in all.
I got the leather jacket and the pin for it, so I'm quite trained in it.
Have you done it where it led to sex, or it was sexually charged?
Every time. No. I guess.
I love you. Yeah, I think it's because of the power exchange. I'm really bratty. I'm really bratty. Like I'm a sub, but like you have to earn that. I think that's why. I think that's why it would be a thing for me.
Really?
Yes, it is not freely given. It must be earned.
And I kind of dig it because one, I don't like I like the fight. Like I kind of like brats. I don't want just submission handed to me. I want to take it. And you know, I do cross that like switch line every once in a while and be like, yeah. And if I feel like if I lost that, you deserve it. And I would be into it at that moment. You know, it's like okay,
Yeah.
you're taking it. You run the show, and I'm 100% for that. Even though typically I try to be a dominant person, so I would like one to take the power, be like mine. But if I lose, I'm like, well earned. What are you giggling at, Shep?
All the things.
I will wrestle you. Except we're gonna wrestle. I'm gonna take that power.
I don't want to hurt your back, though. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm an old man now. That wrestling would probably hurt me.
He does have an owie back.
I do have an owie back.
One single leg grab, and yeah, he would go, Greg.
You know, if you stretched, that wouldn't happen.
Stretching is for pussies. I'm just kidding. Stretching is important. Kink responsibly. Make sure to you. Talking about how to do this.
Always stretch.
Yeah.
I mean, stretching
one
is,
thing
I
we
guess,
haven't done
good
in a
for
while.
pussies, too. I mean, it helps prevent vapor lock, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, one thing we haven't done in a while, because we haven't really had a fetish where we had to talk about safety. But this is definitely one, you need to consent very much pulls into if someone taps out, they tap out. That's the end of their consent.
Yes.
At that point.
Always be aware of your environment. Careful of the sharp objects or sharp corners of furniture or other things that could accidentally be hit.
Yeah, airplay. Because I read that like there was a man who really liked having in the scissor lock around his, airplay and that. So be very careful.
Find out how you're going to tap out beforehand. Look up methods to tap out in various positions so you know. You know.
Yes, you can't always have a safety word in wrestling, except choking noises. So make sure you have safety motions. Tapping, sometimes a quick tapping is a one way, or with the vapor play of it with the scissor hold. Maybe the loosening of a grip is the key to stop.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
Because consent goes both ways. And
Yes.
again,
Always prepare.
and always kink responsibly. Stretch beforehand. Don't go into that not stretching. You're going to pull a hammy. And then
Or a
you're
whammy.
you're gonna pull a hammy
Or a terry
and not
flap.
get a rammy. That's what's gonna happen. Pull a hammy, no get the rammy.
Pull a hammy, a tammy, or a terry. Yeah.
Terry
Maybe
folds.
that's what I can put on the
Terry-
Patreon. I
Mighty
could do
terry fold?
stretching and teach stretching, how to stretch.
Oh, that would be awesome. That would
Yes,
be
you
really
do induce stretching every time.
awesome. Guys, guess what time it is? It's the wheel.
Stretching time?
And we need to add some more stuff to this wheel. It's getting sparse. Sparosity.
Spars, are you kidding me?
We need to add some more. I mean, it's still got a lot on there, but I mean,
I was like, it
remember
was
at
pretty
one point-
cramped. A lot. There was a lot on there.
I remember at one point in time where I could barely read the things on this wheel, but we're just next week is episode 20.
I only came in halfway though, so
Yeah, so here
We
we
need
go.
to
We're
help
gonna
you with that next time.
spin that wheel, and it doesn't matter when you come in, as long as you come.
But she said only halfway, so we're failures already.
We are going to be talking about.
this part always makes me so nervous.
Well, okay, so it was one of those things where it almost landed. We almost had balloons, but it crossed that threshold, and we're going to be talking about Vor. And I used to produce Vor content. I was number 1 on Clips for Sale for Vor, and that is
Oh
a
my.
massive subject.
Oh.
We want to talk about. I got this. We're good.
So then, me
So
and,
you don't
Rebecca
need
can
us
just
next
go.
week? Yeah.
What?
Next
No.
week we can just go pod with each other, some kind of casting or something.
No, you guys can actually
we can
not
cast
leave
our own
me.
pods.
Yes.
I need you. I need somebody to talk to. If it's just me here talking, I'm just gonna like.
Say it again, John. Say you
Just
need me.
ask
Say
one of
you
the other
need me.
voices to
I
come out
need
with you.
The audience needs you. Do you think the audience really wants just a podcast with just me? I don't think so.
I don't know.
This
Maybe we
is
should
true.
vote.
Nope.
Maybe we should vote.
No voting.
No?
Voting has been terminated.
Or leave it to the audience to vote.
We have to give the audience what they want.
You can set
They
up
don't
a
want it.
poll.
I can tell you right now, they don't want it.
They don't want you, John.
They don't want me. I forced my way in. That's
Oh, no,
CNC
it's gonna happen now. We've said the word, so now there has to be a poll.
I would want you. I feel like you're clever and intelligent and funny.
Should John be able to do the next episode by himself, or should we be attend as well? Some poll along that nature.
Actually, I tell you what, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a bonus episode next week.
We should have them vote on who they would want to hear on a solo episode.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I would love to hear a whole hour of Shep.
Oh, that would be
my.
good.
I know, right?
I would
Yeah.
absolutely listen to that. Just kept talking.
Right?
If y'all want to do an hour talk, then we can go into the real depths, because you know how these days they are unlocking more traits and your health through your DNA.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if at some point in time there would be a kink or fetish DNA test, because a lot of these things are hardwired into us. So if they can identify exact traits and health issues,
Could
there's
they
no way they
identify the
won't
kink gene?
eventually mark each chromosome to that specific wiring in our brains. And
Ooh.
So all of
so
our
you want in-depth shepherd
neurobiological
talk, we can do
listeners,
this.
please get on that.
Yeah, get on that. Send us some research, and we'll make Shep do that solo episode talking about genetics, and I would love that. But anyway,
Well, I myself have actually been through the ancestry DNA thing, so yes.
but I think that is our time for this week.
Oh yes.
As always, I love this. I love doing this with you guys. You guys are my kinky friends, and I love y'all.
Oh, I love you. And Shep.
And remember to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Dinks with Kinks, and check out our Patreon for bonus episodes, early access to episodes, and Rebecca's feet.
And my feet.
And I got a couple shots of Shep's butt I'm going to put up there just for fun.
Okay.
Can I get those for free? Is that
Yes.
like an employee discount?
You can, absolutely.
Oh, those must be my
Fantastic.
tattoos. That's what we can put on the Patreon. All my tattoos. Yeah.
We could. I absolutely would love that.
I would too.
Since
I'm
it
going
does
to add that to
encompass-
our wheel, by the way.
I think you should.
Tattoos. Yeah, I don't know why I
It
put
does
it in there.
encompass the entirety of my back, from my neck to my back of my thighs.
Actually, I'm going to add body modification, body mod.
Yeah, that is a body mod. Yeah.
Because there's a lot we could talk about that. Anyway, I'm your host, John Dondero, and with me, as always, the very lovely, the very sexy, Mr. Shep.
Only because I shaved that you're saying this to me.
Absolutely. And the always brilliant, always beautiful, Miss Rebecca.
Good evening.
You guys have a great night.
Oh, it has
Remember to
been.
kink responsibly.
And sign up for our Patreon.
Till next time.